In this video, we're going to cover everything that was announced for Doom and the shadow drop that just happened. Let's start with we finally have some new content for Doom the Dark Ages in the form of an endless arena mode called the Repertorium. There's a lot of settings you can change, ranging from enemy types, how many of the different enemies you want to spawn. Obviously, you can change the difficulty. You can set a time limit or turn endless mode on to challenge yourself. There's 3 arenas total that you can play on. I'll show them on the screen. I'm not even going to try to pronounce these. And a small nice addition to this mode is the ability to select a track from the OST. I can't lie and say I'm not disappointed in the fact that this mode isn't co-op. That would have been a nice addition. I just don't know why they haven't added a co-op mode in these modern Doom games. It would add so much to the replayability of this game if you could play with your friends. Moving on, if you're into the skins in Doom the Dark Ages, you can grab an exclusive QuakeCon skin by linking your platform to your Bethesda account. After you have linked your account, all you have to do is log into Doom the Dark Ages between August 7th to September 1st to receive your skin. They also added another skin for completing an encounter in each Repertorium arena. For some of the patch notes, they added a new slider allowing players to select your life sigil capacity for your campaign run. We talked about some of this stuff in previous videos, so I'll give a brief summary. They added a new slider to adjust if you want slow motion for melee and parrying. They also adjusted some of the boss battles, like adding new enemies, making it more difficult, just to make it more challenging, because some of them were easy. They made many improvements to the Atlan and Dragon levels. For the Atlan, they adjusted stomp behavior to apply an electrical stun and shock state to enemies. When attacking shocked enemies, the Atlan will punch faster. They also added more enemies to the Atlan levels. For the Dragon, they extended the empowered shot time. They also added a new HUD element to indicate when a player should initiate assault mode and the dodge actions. They also made it where players will now skip straight to the Holy City if tutorials are turned off. There's a lot of patch notes. If you want to check them out, they'll be in the description below. They've made many improvements to balancing, tweaks to the weapons, tons of bug fixes, crashes. There was even some news at QuakeCon about Doom Eternal. A while ago they released an open beta for mod tools. Today those tools were released, so now it's easily accessible for everyone. When you launch Doom Eternal, you'll be greeted with a new launcher with some options to either launch the base game or you can launch the modded version. I recently saw a mod that allowed co-op in Doom Eternal. This will add to the replayability. I might even have to check it out myself. If you don't have Doom Eternal yet, it's on sale now for QuakeCon. You can get the base game for $9.99 or the deluxe edition for $17. I wonder when we'll see mod support for Doom the Dark Ages. Hopefully soon. It seems to wait until the game's dead to add mod support, so it might be a while until we see it in Dark Ages. And the last thing that was announced was a Hexen/Heretic bundle. The bundle has various improvements, including 4K 120 FPS support, a mod manager. They also remastered the soundtrack. You can toggle on the original or keep the remastered. There are 2 new episodes. Heretic gets Faith Renewed and Hexen gets Vestige of Grandeur, and it also has online co-op and online PvP. There's also a bunch of other improvements. You can get this bundle for $14.99, or if you already own these games, you got this update for free. Again, I can't lie and say I'm not disappointed. Most of us thought there was going to be a Quake 4 remaster this year because it's Quake 4's 20th anniversary. I'm not quite sure why they call it QuakeCon still. There hasn't really been any Quake news or anything about Quake at this con. Hopefully next year we get something about Quake. I'm hoping that this franchise isn't completely dead and we can get a new Quake soon. But either way, this bundle looks pretty cool. I'm excited to check it out with some friends. It'll be tons of fun to play. What wasn't announced was Doom the Dark Ages DLC. I remember when people early on were saying this game didn't need multiplayer. I wonder what they're thinking now. The game hasn't really gotten any new content besides this new arena mode, and even then, it's just on missions we already have with areas blocked off. With Doom Eternal, you had all those different modes, and within a few months, you got the announcement of the new DLC, and now we are at the same exact point in time for the Dark Ages, and we have no indication of when this DLC is even going to drop. I still don't know why people were so against multiplayer. It should have been in the game. It would have increased the replay value of it, and everybody was cool with that, paying more for less. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's just a small recap of what was announced at QuakeCon. If you want us to deep dive into the new mode or into Hexen and Heretic, let us know in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.